or stranger. So he said, man, the hell with that. I'm not going to the strange life. And here it says what? Was gone over to the life of the heathens. Alright? Had nothing to do with religion. Like I said, they just used that word as a key to push their madness. Alright? Now, from there, let's stay in 2nd Maccabees. Go to the 8th chapter and the 1st verse, and it says, Then Judas Maccabees and they that were with him went privately into the towns and called their kinsfolk together, and took unto them all such as had continued in the Jews' religion. And I just want to say this real quick. You know, these are like the shows that Elder Tahar does. You know, with the classroom setting, the shows that Elder Gabar does, you know, situations like this, you know, and these shows are really for the serious-minded brothers out there that really want to learn, that really want to get this information, because the majority of you, basically all you want to do is you just want to be entertained. You know, you like those videos where it's all kind of controversy and people talking shit, and this guy saying this about this guy. Okay, I wonder what this guy's gonna come back with and say. I wonder who's gonna overcome or win this battle. You know, this guy's saying, well, this guy, he's this asshole, and that asshole saying that about this asshole. You fucking guys get all into that bullshit, you know. But the things that you're supposed to be getting into, you don't get into. But that's why I said this is for the serious-minded brothers. The rest of you phony, fake pieces of shit, just stay the fuck away from us, alright? Because as the Elder Tahar said years ago, when the time comes, we're only for the righteous, man. We're only for the elect of the Lord. The hell with the rest of you niggas, you could drop dead. I just had to say that. Anyway. Then Judas Maccabees and they that were with him went privately into the towns and called their kinsfolk together, and took unto them all such as continued in the Jews' religion, right? And assembled about 6,000 men. Now let's go to the Greek here. 2nd Maccabees, the 8th chapter, and the 1st verse. And let's look that up. And you can see here in the 1st chapter, Maccabees, and the word that we're looking for is the Jews' religion, which is what? Judaismo, which is the Jews' worship, Judaismo. Okay? So now let's go from there to the Latin Vulgate, the same book, 2nd Maccabees. This time we're going to go to the 8th chapter and the 1st verse. And what does it say here? Judaismo. Alright? Now, let's go from there back to the English. We're still in the same book. We're just hitting a few words here in this book that deal with the word religion in the English. So this is 2nd Maccabees chapter 14 verse 38. And it says what? It says, For in the former times, when they mingled not themselves with the Gentiles, he had been accused of Judaism, and did boldly jeopard his life and life with all, his body and life with all vehemency for the religion of the Jews. All right. So now let's go from there. Let's go to the Greek here, 2nd Maccabees, chapter 14, and this is verse 38. Let's see what it says here, because you got it several times. Here we go. Judaismo and Judaismo, which is the Jews' worship. Alright, the Latin, let's just hit it real quick. 2nd Maccabees 14 and verse 38. And what do we have here? Judaismo. And that's they only have it there once. Alright, in the other verse they had it 2 times, but here they have it once. Judaismo, which is basically the Jews' worship. Alright, now what we're gonna do now, we're gonna just go to the book of Acts 17 and 22, and we're gonna read a couple of scriptures and just go to the Blue Letter Bible and just show you brothers different words in the Bible that coincide with the worship of either the Most High or the strange gods that Israel was worshiping back then. So this is the book of Acts chapter 17, and we're going to go to verse 22. Acts 17 and 22, it says, Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill and said, You men of Athens, I perceive that in all things you are too superstitious. Now let's deal with that word superstitious. Let's go here to the Blue Letter Bible, and then let's go to the book of Acts, the 17th chapter, right? And let's go to the 22nd verse. Let's see what that word for superstition there says in the Greek. Alright, superstitious. Let me move this over. Alright, it's too superstitious, right? What does it say? Daisy demon. Daisy demon, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Daisy demon. And what does daisy demon mean? In a good sense, reverencing God or the gods, pious. You know they gotta throw that bullshit religious in there. In a bad sense, superstitious, right? So that's like a reverence or a worship, to be superstitious. But usually it's usually put in a bad sense as being superstitious. All right. So it's a reverencing of the gods, but that's really talking about like them false gods. All right. Now in the same book, we'll go to Acts 25 and 19, and it says, but had certain questions against him of their own superstition. It goes the word superstition again, and the word superstition there again in the book of Acts 25 and 19. Let's just find out what it says. It says the same thing, but we're just going to it just as a just so you brothers can get the idea. All right. 25 and 19. Superstition, same word. Daisy demon. This one says daisy demonea, which is a variation of the original daisy demon. All right. So same thing. In a good sense, reverencing God or the gods, pious. In a bad sense, superstitious. You know, like I said, they always gotta try to throw that religious bullshit in there. Now let's go from there to Acts. Most of this is in the book of Acts. Acts the 13th chapter and the 43rd verse. And it says, now when the congregation was broken up, many of the Jews and religious proselytes followed Paul and Barnabas, who speaking to them persuaded them to continue in the grace of the Most High. Now the word here is religious, right? But let's find out what it says in the Blue Letter Bible for the word religion. There in that chapter of Acts 13 and 43. All right, let's see what it says. It says, here we go. Religious, right? The word religious there is sibo. Sibo. Now, what does the word sibo mean? To revere, to worship. So you know, it's just like I said, it's a play on words. So the word sibo is to revere or to worship. But here in the English, they have the word religious. Right? Now, let's go from there real quick to the book of 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 10. 1 Timothy 2 and 10. And before we end this session, after a couple more words, I just want to hit this one couple of points. One is in the Harper's Bible Dictionary, and the other one's in the beginning of this Bible that we have, that we got from the Jehovah's Witness. So 1 Timothy 2 and 10 says, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works. Now let's see what it says in the Blue Letter Bible there for godliness. All right, 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 10. And what do we have here in the Greek? Godliness, theo sebia. Remember, sebo meant worship, but this is theo. The word theo is God or the Most High, and sebia is to worship or to worship the Most High. So that's godliness, reverence towards the Most High's goodness. All right. Now let's go from there to the book of John, the 9th chapter. All right, book of John, the 9th chapter, and the 31st verse, and let's get some more understanding on this situation, because it's the worship of the Most High. It got nothing to do with religion. Now we know that the Most High heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshipper of the Most High and doeth his will, him he heareth. And once again, Blue Letter Bible, John, the 9th chapter, And let's see what it says there for the word worshiper.